Alrighty, what is up, guys? Evanaldo here. So, wanted to give you guys a Bitcoin and Ethereum recap right now. Live stream went on this morning on Twitch. The live streams for now will be on Twitch. I'm going to try to do them around 6 p.m. Eastern Time because that's when the majority of people voted they wanted them. And they will be, the replays, the reruns will be on Twitch. I figured out that setting, so they will be on Twitch after I finish them. They'll be on Twitch for about 60 days at least, so should be good. So check out that for the live streams. Going to try to do an hour about for each one around 6 p.m. Eastern Time during the week every day. I'm on vacation now. I'm in Costa Rica, going to Mexico City next, so maybe a little bit tougher for the next week or so. But yeah, that's that. And also, guys, if you're interested in the exclusive Discord, link in the description below. Been doing extremely well. Had an amazing September. Just racking in the greens here. It could change though. Not every month is as good as September. We have had some bad months, but yeah, check it out if you're interested. Link in the description below. And yeah, let's get right into it here. So one thing I was, looking at, and if you guys watch my live streams a lot, you've probably seen me talk about this, and it's the money flow on the monthly. So the main thing that we can compare the money flow on the monthly here, this curving down looks, overall kind of bearish. Curving down towards the zero line, like the lowest it's ever been. And it's at about 12 right now. Let's see, about 12.10 right now. And the closest thing we could compare to this is the NASDAQ after the dot-com bubble. Where did the NASDAQ bottom out? What area after the dot-com bubble? It was at about 8, let's say, right around 7.5, I would say, right there, 7.58. So it was 12 to 8. So if it's this type of percentage, 12 to 8, so it'd be kind of from the top of, I believe, this candlestick right here down to the bottom. That was about 33% down. So that would be kind of the case for the last leg down for it to bottom out relatively soon, 33% down. And that's only, around 14K right there. If it is 13% down from, or 33% down from where we are right now, though, that's a different story. It's a bit lower, 13K. I do think 13K is going to be a huge area. And the reason I think that's going to be a huge area is because of the 400 weekly moving average right there. Now, on this chart at least, we've never tested it before. We've never really gone close to testing it. We've tested the 300 week before. I don't think the 300 week is going to mean as much. I think it's going to be more like the 200 week moving average. Didn't mean as much. We've just been below it for a long time. Doesn't mean, as much anymore. But right here, the pandemic dump, this meant a lot right there. I think you'll get some type of reaction when we do hit it, and I think it's pretty inevitable we will hit it. I don't think the odds are very high that we're going to, that we've already bottomed out. Given how everything looks, given how the NASDAQ looks, given how the S&P 500 looks, given all those things, some fundamentals, everything going on, high inflation, it doesn't seem very likely we've already bottomed out. Now, moving on, to look at our time frames, what's happening right now. So what we're kind of waiting for on Bitcoin is the 10-day VWAP curving down right here. This could bring you down quite a bit once you get that red dot. What it kind of looks like on a lot of these, time frames, it kind of looks like this area over here where you're just bouncing around, red dot, green dot. And this was in a 10% range right here, really where you were. Let's zoom in a little bit to really see what was happening. This was our jump up, and then this is our, kind of bottom there. This is kind of like where we are right now, jumping out of that. And you were basically just bouncing around a 10% range. If you could kind of compare, see right here is like that green right there. And then this is the dump. And then after that for, crazy how long that was. That was like a 2-month period, basically, until November, maybe even longer, until November, and then he finally dumped down. It could be a little bit sideways, and the reason why is, we got midterms coming up, so, I don't think they're going to do everything they can to prevent it from really dumping down far with the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, prevent from really, going into points where they have to admit it's a recession. I think that when they'll admit that is going to be after midterms. So the next month they may be able to keep it. We may be able to keep it kind of sideways, maybe a tiny bit bullish, but just range bound this area. Also, 20K is a very, very big point. Like this is kind of like the new 10K almost. This is a big, big area. Like there's a lot of bull and bear fights at this area. A lot of people are buying at this area. You know what I mean? Because they look at it. It's a previous all-time high. You're already back in time 5 years with this. So it is a big area. Now, moving on to some of your lower time frames, you got your yellow X's, double yellow X's. These are a double-edged sword. I mean, right here, they did mark the bottom. Be careful with these. They normally are going to be way more bearish on a time frame this high, especially the 9-day. So I think it's just going to bring us down farther. Also, you got the yellow X printing there. Your 7-day, I believe, it went away, but you were, or at least on one of these time frames, you were printing a bullish div, or maybe it was on Ethereum. But this isn't looking too bad. It's just moving around here, playing the red dot, green dot type thing, just moving around. Similar to this area, very similar to this area, this kind of sideways area. Also, usually when you get 3 yellow X's, you're going to get another yellow X. And then after that, maybe 1 or 2 yellow X's. Then once you dump down, once you get the capitulation downward after the yellow X's, then you look to buy. Then that's usually the bottom. So be careful with that. You always need to have patience there. Oh yeah, that's what I was meant to mean. That's what I meant. The 6-day is printing a bullish div. So a lot of times when you have a high time frame, like the 9-day, printing a yellow X, obviously a very bearish sign, and then 6-day printing a bullish div like this, very bullish sign, that would be kind of indicative of a little bit more sideways, I would say. Usually they kind of counteract one another. It's more sideways. And we could be, look at that money flow right there. That was at the point right before your 50% capitulation approximately from 6.4K. And let's see how it was in 2014. At this point, this was right before that capitulation as well. So this is very bearish on the 6-day. This is very bearish on the 6-day. If, I know the credit default swap thing people have been talking about, if that does get really bad, I could see us crashing down pretty soon. I could see us crashing down, obviously within weeks. That's almost like a black swan kind of with kind of unpredictable. We're seeing housing market, all that type of stuff. So got to be careful. I didn't read up too much on it, but yeah. Right now, daily, you just confirmed. Yeah, you confirmed a green dot after red dot. So this is kind of the more short term. What I'm thinking. I think we could come up a little bit. I do have a long in, to kind of play with this. Not a very large position. A little bit more of just kind of hedging the bets a little bit. But I do think with a lot of these trigger waves in the short term, we should be able to come up a little bit higher. As always, I'm kind of eyeing the next spiral line. It's about 19 or about almost 20 right now. The new range kind of, if you look at this, is going to be from kind of this spiral line, this double spiral line at 18. This is a huge area, 18.4, all the way up to about high 19. So that's going to be a huge area. And that's like that 10%. Remember I was talking about that 10% range bound kind of thing? That's kind of like that 10% range bound kind of thing that we were seeing in the end of 2018 before the capitulation. Just we could bounce around this 10% area for, trying to think how long, it could be another month. It could be until November, maybe even until December. If it was like that 2-month period, that would be pretty crazy. It would get boring. But if it's going to happen, it's probably going to happen now because we have that big area, 20K, this big area that we're looking at. Some of these time frames, let me go back here. Money flow crossover in the 6-hour, that's pretty bullish. 4-hour overall money flow coming off back into the green right here. I'd say overall it's pretty bullish. That could bring us up a little bit more here. And hourly money flow crossover, same with the 30-minute, little bearish div right here. So you could come down a little bit here. I feel like this spiral line is going to act as support rather than resistance and bring us up just a little bit more. Kind of what I'm hoping for. But short term, your 6-minute does look a little bit bearish there, so be careful. I mean, ultimately, if you're somebody trying to go long, wait till we toy around probably with this spiral line, maybe try to go scalp long off of it, lock in profits quickly. That may be a good idea there, depending. See if you see a bullish div on some of your lower time frames, maybe like 3-minute, 6-minute, those type of things, once it starts to look better on those ones. So yeah. That's Bitcoin. Let's move on to Ethereum right now. So Ethereum definitely looks a lot more bearish, and I'm not going to show you guys the Bitcoin dominance chart today, but it looks bullish. And when Bitcoin dominance looks bullish, Bitcoin tends to outperform Ethereum. If things are going up, if the market is bullish, everything's going to go up, but Bitcoin's going to go up more. If the market's bearish, everything's going to go down, but altcoins are going to go down more than Bitcoin. If the market's very sideways, if Bitcoin's very sideways, then altcoins could just bleed again. So altcoins could go down a little bit while Bitcoin stays sideways. That could definitely happen. That's what I kind of think this month looks like. That's what I'm kind of thinking this month looks like. The 3-week confirmed, a red dot right here. I mean, so most of these, that was 80% right there. I mean, I don't think we're going to come down to 80%. Where would that bring us to? That would be like probably some of the lowest. That's probably the worst case scenario I could see, within the next 3 to 6 months, probably 300 major kind of buying opportunity. If you're hitting that, in November and December, it's a high likelihood that we're hitting the bottom. Moving on to some of your lower time frames, like the 16-day. This is important. People would say it's 16-day. It's kind of random, but this is important because this red dot here kind of invalidates the green dot over here. This green dot in our last cycle for both Bitcoin and Ethereum was the minimum time frame that the green dot marked the bottom. On the 2-week, it rolled over into the red. But now what's happening, this is kind of rolling over into the red. It doesn't necessarily mean we haven't, it doesn't mean 100% that we're going to go lower, but it kind of invalidates this green right here. And we're rolling over. It means probably we're going to go deeper, less money flow. There's going to be less green. I don't know if we're going to be in the red when we bottom out, but definitely less green when we bottom out. If it's November, December, we could be down to around 10 or something like that when we bottom out. That would bring us down, probably another 40, 50%. These areas kind of the same, like this trajectory a bit. This spiral line is going to be a huge area. I feel like, 5, 600, 6 to 300 is going to be a huge area. So yeah. And then moving on to the 10-day, 12-day, 10-day confirmed, I believe the red dot right there, another bearish sign. And overall, this time frame looks awful. Look at that money flow curvature, just terrible right there. Very likely that 10 days is going to end up in the red. I think it's going to be a really good long-term play to maybe start DCAing once the 10-day. The 12-day looks bad too, but once the 10-day goes into the red here, that's going to be probably a really good DCA type play to get in the market. And even if we've already bottomed out, the 10-day will likely still go into the red. And you won't be missing too much. Financial advice, though, as always, this 2-day looks your main bullish case right there. Pretty good curvature. No trigger waves, really, except for that one. But that didn't really work out too well. You just went down, but almost coming into the green. So we'll see what happens with that. I think it's a little bit of a fluke, but yeah. Your daily finally coming back into the red right here while you're printing a bullish div. This is indicative of probably a little bit sideways, conflicting. Could mean a little bit sideways. For the short term, like Bitcoin, I do think we could pump up a little bit more here. My main, perspective, my main technique right now, if you're going to be going long, you might as well be going long in Bitcoin because the Bitcoin dominance is bullish. If you're going to be going short, you might as well go short in Ethereum or altcoins because of that Bitcoin dominance. Never financial advice. Anything could happen, though. And some curvature there in some of these lower time frames here. Doesn't look half bad in a lot of these lower time frames. Your 4-hour, kind of like Bitcoin, money flow gradually coming up. And yeah, I mean, kind of neutral on some of your real low ones. Let's see here. Hourly, bearish div, but that money flow coming up, we could still, I think we still got a little bit of gas left in the tank to come up a little bit more here. Ethereum, since it's been starting to underperform Bitcoin, maybe this doesn't come up as much, but Bitcoin's able to get the last leg up here. Just a few $100 more to get up to this spiral line right here, which is what I'm really looking for. So yeah, guys, that's the Bitcoin Ethereum update. Make sure to check out my Twitch in the description below. We're going to be going on, trying to do 6 p.m. Eastern time for now on, all the days during the week for the live show. So follow that, check that out. Also, BITGET, really good promo going on right now. I think there's only 1 or 2 spots open for the first 10 people. It's a deal I negotiated for you guys, for just you guys, for BITGET. Link in description below. If you already have an account, you can create a new one. So check that out. Really good thing. You do not have to deposit very much money or trade with very much money to get the bonus. All right, guys, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Hope you have a fantastic day. Goodbye.